Subscribers to the channel will know that I've been in search of a distraction and things haven't been going all that well. Last week was a flat ride and now I'm here in search of some trails that are really going to scare me. Good morning. It has not stopped raining, hasn't it? It is going to be a steep and wet one.
Apparently it's grippier when it's wet. I've heard that before. I'm not really sure I believe you.
Honestly, it's yeah, it's a lot better.
I thought half the people probably weren't going to turn up, you know.
Oh yeah.
But at least it's not wet, and I haven't seen any mud anywhere, so we'll be absolutely fine today.
Well, it's quite nice and like wet anyway, so it's not going to be.
I'm not convinced with the whole grippier when it's wet thing. I mean, this place I've heard is quite steep and the trail conditions are shocking. It's extremely wet.
Out for another ride, the weather is minging. So it's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's about a 6 foot gap. I do not do gap jumps.
What I don't show in the video is I stood on that ramp and it was like a sheet of ice.
So slippery. Someone's gone down on the run out.
It was so slippery that Ella crashed as soon as she landed.
Woo! Oh yeah. But Adam's already crashed down here.
Yes, you heard me correctly. On the first trail, first run of the day, and Adam's already smashed up his bike.
Oh no, not the same thing again. How did you do that?
Well, there's no fixing that, so Adam heads off to a shop for new parts. Let's hope he can be back in time.
Gosh, I've got to say, I'm slightly impressed with the fact that you are keeping up with the e-bikes up the hill and having a conversation at the same time.
It happens sometimes then.
Yeah, so, I mean, if I ever kept up with an e-bike, there wouldn't be any conversation. There'd just be a lot of huffing and puffing. Just want to say, well done, Analogues. You're all absolutely smashing it. And I did just about manage not to throw up at the top of that one. Oh, so we've got Ginger Monkey over there. Blueprint. Creepers up here. Creepers up there. Stunning. Beautiful. I am not cold. It is not foggy. It's not raining. And there is no mud. It's all about positive thinking. I am having fun. No, that was true. Whoa! Proper slide.
So these trails are wet and slippery and I'm just not a very good wet rider. Really knocks my confidence. It's exactly when I'm not feeling confident that I start to get things wrong.
Oh, totally landing on the front wheel. I don't care, I survived.
It's absolutely true that these trails are fun. Incredibly well built. I mean, I'm enjoying them in the worst weather that I've ridden in ages. And the thing is, they're going to get consistently more gnarly as this video goes on.
This one's called I Don't Know. Or Muddy and Wet, depending on your perspective. But apparently it gets progressively more gnarly. And it started off more gnarly and progressively more steep. Well, I was out for a bit of steep this ride, so steep, here we come. That's steep. You're not used to Welsh riding in the wet. This is quite scary, a number of routes.
So I'm only just starting to get my head around the idea that steep is actually quite fun and that I don't need to be completely terrified the whole way down. I might even have the skills to actually ride some of this stuff. Which is lucky, because it's going to get steeper as we go on, and even steeper on the next day. Steep cornering is definitely something I need to improve on. As you can see, this trail is getting steeper and steeper, and this is just the warm-up steep before the really crazy stuff. So by now, Adam's probably nearly got his bike fixed, so hopefully he'll be joining us soon.
Ooh, I'm scared. I've got to say that so far the most scary, sketchy moment was Ella pointing straight at me with a tree behind me and nowhere to go. And she came down. Yeah, I was like, what do I do?
Now as these trails get a little steeper and steeper, I was quite glad to be riding along behind Dave. He's a very smooth rider, picks a great line, and you know, it just gave me a lot more confidence following wherever he went.
Oh, this is very steep. Right, can't stop now.
I absolutely loved this trail, and I'm getting used to the idea that Welsh wet mud just isn't as slippery as the Surrey Hills version.
That's awesome. Look at that, Captain Steep's back. All fixed. Right, don't know which one this is called, and one of the guys has only ever been down it once before, but he doesn't even know it. And frankly, Jack, he went down it. He was conditioned.
So we're heading down a trail that absolutely nobody has a clue what's on it. That definitely makes me a little nervous. And now I'm following behind Adam. That also makes me nervous. He's quite a fast rider and definitely pushes me out of my comfort zone.
Oh my God. This is... steep. Muddy.
Now what I didn't realise at this point is that Adam wasn't going to be the only one with a mechanical. My bike's starting to suffer with some problems.
I can smell cooking mud on my brake.
Now riding down all of this steep stuff, the one thing you want to be sure about is that your brakes are going to work, and mine are starting to fail. I've mentioned steep once or twice in this video, and I'm not really used to it. And one of the things I'm not used to is going from steep to a jump. This is going to be sketchy.
Whoa. How did I
That was pretty close to that tree. I just missed it.
Oh, sounds like I wasn't the only one that got that wrong. Fucking hell. Well, he did it. He's also gonna do it.
This is GoPro flat, people, but you know, it's starting to look a little steep on a GoPro. Then you know it's really, really crazy.
That's insane, there's no stopping.
I can feel that my front brake isn't working very well and it's making a lot of noise, but I thought it was just the wet and the mud. It won't be till it's far too late the next day that I realise it's knackered, and I end up riding the whole Mallard without a front brake.
Oh, Jesus. Who went down? That was very steep in places. That was like can't stop into drop steep. Yeah. No choice but to commit at that point. It's like, oh my God, minging.
So yes, these were very steep trails, but the next day I had no idea the steepness would make this look like a child's playground. Now at least it was dry at Mallard for the off-piste there, but it was much steeper and I didn't have a front brake at all by this point. I was pretty proud of myself though, how well I did on the Sunday at Forrest the Dean Mallard, super steep off-piste, even with no front brake. Now if you want to see that video, you're gonna have to hit like and subscribe. It's the rules, do it now. So you may be wondering just how bad my front brake was by the time I got back. Well, pretty terrible. Oh yeah, they're bad. That's really quite bad. It's clear that if I want to ride with the steep group rides, then I need two things: balls and plenty of spare sets of pads.